Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. And in today's video, I want to talk to you about these red little crystal things up here called gems. Now, this might be self-explanatory for some, but if you're a new player and you haven't been playing very long, there's actually a lot of things that you can do with gems. But honestly, there's also a lot of bad ways that you can use your gems as well. So in today's video, I want to talk about all of the different ways that you can use them, but also some of the things that I wish I knew in my first week so I didn't waste some of mine. And hopefully that the tips in this video will help you in the days and weeks of Raid Shadow Legends to come. And before we get started with the rest of the video, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started an account on Raid Shadow Legends yet, then you can download the game using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen, or using the link in the description down below to get yourself a free Epic Rector draft alongside some other freebie resources which you'll use. Also, by account level 15, you will get yourself this Ugo, who is one of the best epic characters in Raid Shadow Legends. I am using them every single day on my roster, so don't delay, and they'll definitely help you out in your start. All right, and so I have to start here at the beginning of the video, and that's going to be the gem mine. Now, I am going to move the QR code out of the way a little bit here so you can see here on the side of the screen the gem mine. Now, you might have seen this on your user interface. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But honestly, despite the cost of what it's going to be, and we'll talk about this, I do think that this is one of the most important things that you should get in the beginning of the game when you're able to, when you have the gems to purchase this. Now, I forget what account level that this unlocks. However, for 500 gems per upgrade for a total of 3, which means that it could cost you anywhere from 500 to 1500 gems. This is a passive way that you can actually collect gems all the time. And, I do want to break that down with some math a little bit, and I am going to bring up a calculator here just to share with you guys here. But basically on my screen, I have it fully upgraded. You can see on the right-hand side here, you can see that it's level 3 of 3. Production capacity is 1 every 1 hour and 36 minutes, and it can hold about 15, and it takes about 23 hours in order to max out. Now, I'm pretty sure that despite whether you're level 1, 2, or 3 on the gem mine, I think it maxes out within a day, but the capacity is different. It's either 5, 10, or 15, I'm pretty sure. So I'm getting 15 per day, more or less, and you can collect this. Just make sure that you're on at least once a day to pick this up. Now, it does cost 500 gems to upgrade, so 500 to buy it first, and then 1500 total to get it maxed out. But if you really think about, what you're gaining from this, yes, it might take a little bit of time, right, to get your value of gems back. But if you're playing over the long term, which, a lot of people end up doing, you're going to end up seeing this back. Blah, you're going to end up seeing this back. So if we take that into perspective, let's just say 15 gems per day over 30 days for a month, just on average. So that's going to be about 450 gems. So in about more or less about 3 months, you're going to get the return on the gem mine. And I know what some of you are thinking or saying, that is a long time. And yes, it is. But if you are playing Raid Shadow Legends over the long period of time, if this is a game that you're going to be playing for a while, then you're obviously going to start to see dividends back on this after the 3-month period. And all of that is going to be surplus gems that you're going to be collecting every single day. So, it would be wrong of me to not bring this up because I do think that this is a really important purchase. I did get this pretty early on, and I did spend my gems to upgrade the mine to level 3. So I do think that it's a pretty important thing to do in your game, especially as early as possible. Now, before we go too much further in the video, I think I would want to point out that if you are interested in doing a little bit of light spending, I noticed myself, and something I'm surprised I didn't notice this earlier on, but that's probably because I'll admit there are a lot of offers in Raid Shadow Legends. There's a lot between the limited special offers in the bottom left hand and then the daily and progression tab, which I'm on right now. There's quite a few different offers that kind of get popped up at you every now and then, but there is one particular one that I do want to kind of stress a little bit here if you're someone who is a light spender. This is something that has pretty significant value, and that is the daily gem pack here, which I'm actually going to be picking up here today. I am a sucker, I'll admit, I'm a sucker for login calendars, especially if I know that I'm going to be continuing to play the game. And so this is a 30-day login calendar for approximately 10 US dollars, or in this case, 14 Canadian dollars for me. And if you click on that, you are getting gems every single day. Day 1, you are getting 250, and then from there on, more or less, you're getting like 50 every day and towards the end it goes up to 60, I suppose, and then finally 200. But 2140 gems over the course of 30 days is quite a lot, because if you were to buy this up front, the 2100, like you can find this, I believe, in the bank. And so if you were to find the equivalency of that, like I believe it's $70. Like it's you're getting like 70 Canadian. In this case, I think that's 50 US dollars. I'm not exactly sure what the currency exchange rate is right now. But you're getting like what is that? 5 times the value essentially by allowing yourself to get that login calendar over the course of the 30 days. Again, it's not upfront, but you don't really need that much gems upfront, anyways. Like I don't think you need 2,000 gems immediately. This is just like something that you can get over time. So this is definitely something that I recommend if you're not afraid of doing a little bit of light spending. So I am going to be picking this one up. And just to show you what that looks like, of course, so I did end up getting that, and then you can see that the claim is there. And then I guess you have to come back into this page every single. Oh, that's interesting. It's like I just claimed it, but then I was saying 19 hours. So it must. I think it must recalculate at the normal daily reset for the game. I think that is. So just something that I wanted to point out really quickly. And that's going to lead me to the gem shop, right? All of this stuff is things that you can purchase with your gems, and I really do. There's a lot of things in here that I really don't think that people should be doing. That is namely the PvP arena refills. Honestly, you get so many arena refill tokens like throughout the day and for free from your objectives that I would not do this. The XP boost, also, I think that's a pretty hefty price. I mean, you're getting more value for doing the 3-day boost, but at least for me, and maybe this will change later on, I'm currently sitting at I have 24 days of XP boost, and this has been coming just from me playing the game, in the beginning. So I'm on week 3, and I've still never not had an XP boost. And again, maybe this will change in the 3+ weeks time, when this fades away. But I don't think that spending your gems on XP boost is really all that necessary. But that's just me. One thing that I have been guilty of, and I have done this before with some of my more free to play gems, which I partially regret, is buying ancient shards. I was really kind of desperate for like wanting to pull new characters. I believe it was for the Knave of Hearts summoning period of time. So if there's like a real like bonus event that I want to use my ancient shards on, I did bite the bullet on this one and purchase ancient shards. I don't think it's personally a good idea. But the option is there, and I think we're all guilty of potentially using our gems on things that maybe we shouldn't. These potion packs, also don't think this is highly necessary. This is stuff that you can easily farm pretty quickly by doing the arcane keep, which isn't that hard to do once I'm 3 weeks in and I'm able to farm this stuff pretty quickly as well. So again, not something that I would do. Demon Lord keys, also not something I would do. Silver, you do need a lot of silver. However, I wouldn't spend gems on them. And then there's the name changer and energy. I do want to talk about the energy thing. So I am guilty of buying these from time to time if there's a specific milestone that's ongoing that I really, really want to clear, or I am impatient and I just really want to push this a little bit more. So I'll admit that while I do not think that you need to do this on a regular basis, I am guilty of doing this every now and then. One thing that I do like, and I'm going to do this now because I'm currently actually doing a milestone, but just for the purposes of the video, I will buy one of these, and I'm going to show you what I do like about this, though, is that you can actually hold it in your inbox here for 99 days. So it doesn't expire. And one thing compared to other games that I do like about this, it doesn't immediately fill my energy. So oftentimes in other games, that's what happens, is it goes straight into your energy. But this is actually just buying an energy refill, and it just sits in your inventory, or in this case, your inbox, and you can use it when you want to. So that's something that's really nice. They're going to collect those gems. So I'll be sitting on this until I'm ready to use it. But, I only do that when there's a lot of tournaments or events going on that I'm just like really trying to grind out something, really trying to push for something specific, which I actually am doing right now with the Fire Night tournament. This may be over, though, by the time this video goes live, but I've been trying to grind out some of these Tea Party events for the teacups for the Mad Hatter thing. I really want to get this Cat's Gaze, so I've been grinding out some of these milestone events. We'll see if I end up getting it, though. I'm not sure. But that's basically the extent of which I'm trying to grind out this event, because I know that I'm pretty early on as far as, my roster and things like that. So I may or may not get that. Now, there is one more thing that I really, really, really want to talk about, and something that this is probably my biggest regret, in early Raid Shadow Legends about spending my gems, and this is masteries. So I, I think this is a colossal pain in the ass. I'm just going to say this, right now. I think farming this stuff is a total pain in the ass. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of energy to spend to grind the Minotaur dungeon, and honestly, I haven't done the math on this in terms of like how much energy I'd have to spend to max one character out, but it's probably a lot. And what you can do is, if you haven't really worked on this yet for a character that you're going to be using all the time, do not do this for, just some random character. But if you have a really powerful character that you haven't worked on the masteries too much yet, one thing that I personally recommend doing, and this might sound like a joke, but I assure you it's not, is spending the 800 gems to get all of the mastery scrolls for a character, because it'll completely max out the character on masteries, and you will not have to concern yourself about the Minotaur of farming, which is a colossal pain in the ass. And actually, what's good about having a maxed out character is that I'm going to show you, because then you can start funneling your characters a little bit easier when you are farming this, if you decide to do that for other characters. So what I mean by that is that we'll just go into the Minotaur's Labyrinth. I hate this. I have been able to clear stage 14, I guess, but even then, it's not fast. Like, farming this stuff is not fast, and it takes a lot of energy when you'd rather use that energy on like anything else when it comes to dungeons and item farming and grinding your XP for your food and all of that stuff. This is just a waste of time. But if you have some maxed out characters with scrolls, what you can do is you can just have 4 characters that are maxed out, and then have the one character, that you want to farm scrolls for. So that way it always goes to that character. Because the one issue that I have with the Minotaur is that the scrolls go to a random character. So if you have a bunch of characters that aren't maxed out, then it could go to a random character, and you can't choose who that's going to be. So the farming is a colossal pain in the ass. And this is something that I wish I did earlier on, especially with some of my bigger characters. So like with Kale, I got super, super lucky and got a 6 red soul pull for him. But I'm like halfway in on my masteries, and I don't want to spend the gems now, because I'm kind of halfway, and I feel like it'd be a bit of a waste. But if you haven't really done much, and especially if you're on like the first row, maybe 2, this is definitely something that I would consider spending your gems on, because it's just going to save you a ton of time in the long run. And same for any other like big, epic or legendary character that you're using every single day. That's something that I would personally recommend. And that's probably what I'm going to be saving my gems for, is that for any future character pulls, that I get some good characters, instead of having to do the Minotaur for them, I am just going to spend the 800 gems and max them out. Honestly, that's probably what I'll end up doing. And I think that basically rounds out the video. If I missed anything that you guys think that I should have said, I should have considered in terms of using gems, let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much everything. Before I go, though, I do want to mention that if you haven't started playing Raid Shadow Legends yet, then I think that you should, or if you're a returning player who wants to start a new account. But make sure that you download using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen, or using the link in the description down below to get yourself some free stuff, of course, including a free epic Rector Drath and an epic Ugo, which you would have seen at the start of the video as well. So that's going to be the end of this video, everyone. And until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.